Dear viewers, welcome back to our module of respiratory system. In part 1 of this module, we have discussed about what is respiratory system, what is structural and functional classification of respiratory system, and in detail we have discussed about anatomy and physiology of nose and pharynx. Now, we are starting with the part 2 of this module. In part 2 of this module, we will discuss about what is anatomy and physiology of different parts of the lower respiratory system. So in the lower respiratory system, we have 4 basic organs like larynx, trachea, bronchi and lungs. We start with the larynx. Larynx is also called as voice box. This larynx is attached to hyoid bone and superiorly it is opening into laryngopharynx and posteriorly it is opening into trachea. There are 3 basic functions of the larynx. First is to provide a patent airway. Second is to act as a switching mechanism to route air and food into the proper channels. And third is to function in voice production. These are the 3 basic functions of the larynx. These basic functions are performed by the different framework of the larynx. So framework of the larynx include the different cartilages. So these cartilages are made up of hyaline cartilage. The first one is Adam's apple. This is what the pictorial representation explaining. Adam's apple. It is having shield shape and is made up of thyroid cartilage, and it is located anterior-superior, anterior towards the front of the body, superior towards the head, and it is having midline pharyngeal prominence at the center. Now this is called as Adam's apple. Second type is signet ring shape circoid cartilage. This is what the circoid cartilage. It is having signet ring shape and it is located towards the front of the body and away from the head. So it is defined by the term anterior-inferior. And 3 pairs of arytenoid, cuneiform and corniculate cartilages. This is what the arytenoid cartilage, a pair of arytenoid cartilage. On the top of it, we have corniculate cartilage. And one more is cuneiform cartilage. This is what the cuneiform cartilage which is located. Circoid cartilage, arytenoid cartilage, corniculate cartilage and cuneiform cartilage. So these are the different cartilages which are present in the larynx. Framework of the larynx also includes epiglottis. Epiglottis is made up of elastic cartilage. Previous what we discussed, they are made up of hyaline cartilage. Now this epiglottis is made up of elastic cartilage and it will cover the larynx during swallowing. So it is controlling the opening and closing mechanism of the larynx. So whenever the food is passing or whenever we are drinking, the opening of the larynx, which is called as glottis, this will be closed by epiglottis. Now, to help in production of sound, we have vocal ligaments. These ligaments are attached to thyroid cartilage and to the arytenoid cartilage. Now, these vocal ligaments are of 2 types. Either they are true vocal ligaments or they are false vocal cords. True vocal cords or false vocal cords. They are made up of elastic fibers and they form the mucosal folds. So these mucosal folds will be called vocal cords, and these vocal cords will have an opening in the center which is called as glottis. This opening in the center is called as glottis, and the vocal cords which are involved in sound production, they are called as true vocal cords. So how the sound is produced? Whenever the air is rushing up from the lungs, then it will produce the sound. So the vocal cords which are involved in sound production, they are called as true vocal cords. Apart from these true vocal cords, we have also false vocal cords. Why they are called as false vocal cords? Because they are not involved in sound production. They are also mucosal folds. They are present superior to the true vocal cords. So they are called as false vocal cords. Role of larynx in the voice production, it helps in producing speech. So intermittent release of expired air while opening and closing of glottis will produce a speech. And pitch of the sound is determined by length and tension of vocal cords. And loudness of the sound is determined by force with which the air is rushing across the vocal cords. So what the larynx is doing basically, it is resonating, amplifying and enhancing the sound quality. So not only the larynx, the sound is shaped into a language by coordinated function of larynx, tongue, soft palate and lips. Now, Larynx is also functioning as a sphincter. So this larynx is closed during coughing, sneezing and Valsalva's maneuver. So what is this Valsalva's maneuver? This is pictorial representation explaining a person is lifting a heavy load. For that, it requires an internal abdominal pressure. So this abdominal pressure inside the abdomen is produced when the lower respiratory tract is holding the air. So how the lower respiratory tract will hold the air? Whenever the glottis is closed. So glottis is closed, lower respiratory tract is holding the air, which will create an intra-abdominal pressure, which helps to lift heavy load. Now this mechanism of holding the pressure inside or creating a pressure inside is called as Valsalva's maneuver. So this process or this procedure also help in emptying of the rectum, the process of defecation. Now, after completion of larynx, the second part of lower respiratory system is trachea. Trachea is a flexible, mobile, tube-like structure which is connected to larynx superiorly and it is extending up to mediastinum. Wall of trachea is composed of three layers: innermost mucosa, middle layer submucosa, outermost adventitia. Adventitia is also having C-shaped rings which are called as which are hyaline cartilage rings, and submucosa is made up of connective tissue, and mucosa is having goblet cells and is made up of ciliated epithelial cells. See here the epithelium type is pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium. So we can understand this term epithelium, which is having column shaped cells which have cilia on their surface and they are arranged in a single layer but appear to be arranged in many layers. So they are defined by a term called as pseudostratified. Now, after completion of trachea, we have bronchi. So trachea will divide at the point of carina into primary bronchi. So primary bronchus are of two types, left primary bronchi and right primary bronchi. So this either the right or left, both of them will divide into secondary bronchi, which will divide into tertiary bronchi, which will divide into bronchioles. Bronchioles will divide into terminal bronchioles. Terminal bronchioles will be opening into respiratory bronchioles. So at what stage? That is fifth thoracic vertebrae. So we can recall what are vertebrae, how many types are there, how many number of thoracic vertebrae are there. So at the level of fifth thoracic vertebrae, trachea is dividing into right and left primary bronchus. Now the point at which the trachea is dividing is called as carina. Now this primary bronchi will be subdividing into secondary bronchi. Now this secondary bronchi will be opening into the lobe of lung. Now the secondary bronchi, after entering into the lobe of lung, it will be dividing into further smaller bronchi, which is called as tertiary bronchi. Tertiary bronchi will be dividing into bronchioles. Bronchioles in turn branch repeatedly and finally they form very small tubes which are called as terminal bronchioles. Now, all these divisions from trachea to terminal bronchioles will give a shape of inverted tree. So this is called as bronchial tree. This is what the bronchial tree. Trachea at the point of carina dividing into right primary bronchus, left primary bronchus dividing into secondary bronchus dividing into tertiary bronchus dividing into bronchioles. Bronchioles will be dividing and finally they are forming terminal bronchioles. Terminal bronchioles will be opening into respiratory bronchioles. So this whole division will give a shape of inverted tree. So this is called as bronchial tree. Yes. So air which is reaching to the bronchi is warm and cleaned of impurities and is saturated with the water vapor, because these are the basic functions or modifications which are done to the inspired in upper respiratory tract. And the tube which is becoming smaller and smaller as the division is proceeding. So there are certain structural changes will be occurring in these smaller tubes. So the first change is the cartilage which is providing support to the bronchioles will be changing. epithelium which is lining will be changing, and amount of smooth muscles will be increasing. So bronchioles which have cuboidal epithelium, so epithelium which have cube shaped cells, and the complete layer of circular smooth muscle cells will be present in the bronchioles, but they lack cartilage support and mucus producing cells. Now, terminal bronchioles will be opening into respiratory bronchioles. Now, this respiratory bronchiole will be opening into alveolar sac, alveolar duct, alveolar sac, and finally to alveolus. Now, this region where alveoli are present, that is called as respiratory zone. It begins with where the terminal bronchioles are feeding to respiratory bronchioles. Now, respiratory bronchioles will lead to alveolar duct, and alveolar duct will be opening into alveolar sac, which is made up of alveoli. So 300 million alveoli are present, which will be forming most of the portion of lung, and because of these very large number of alveoli, surface area of the lungs will be increased. So the basic function of lungs is to allow exchange of gases will be taking place in alveoli. Now, for exchange of gases, there is a membrane or a barrier which is controlling the exchange of gases. Now, that membrane is called as respiratory membrane. It is also called as air-blood barrier. It is made up of alveolar wall which is fused with the capillary wall. So their basal lamina are also fused. So this fusion will form a barrier which will control the exchange of gases. So this alveolar walls will have epithelial cells in them, type 1 epithelial cells, which will permit the exchange of gases by simple diffusion, and they will also secrete an enzyme which is called as angiotensin converting enzyme. So this point should be noted. Type 1 epithelial cells of the alveolar wall will be secreting angiotensin converting enzyme, and type 2 cells are also present. They will be secreting surfactant. Now, alveoli, which is the basic structure functional unit of the lungs, they are composed of they are surrounded by fine elastic fibers. So this is what the alveolus, which is surrounded by fine elastic fibers, and they contain pores inside them. The function of this pore is to connect adjacent alveoli and allow air pressure throughout the lungs to be equalized. And they have macrophages which are present on the surface of alveolus. So we will stop here. So in the part 2, we covered what is larynx, what is the anatomy and physiology of larynx, what is trachea, and what are bronchi, primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, terminal bronchioles, respiratory bronchioles, and what is alveoli. So in the next part of this module, we will be discussing in detail about anatomy and physiology of lungs.